Okay, hello, Sam Jenkins. Welcome to Dama. So I'm going to interview you a little bit about what you're going to be talking about in the upcoming meeting. So can you give us a little bit about who you are and what's your background?
Sure. My name is Sam Jenkins, and I'm the managing partner at Punchcard Systems. We're a digital transformation shop based in Edmonton, but with staff that stretch from Victoria all the way to Kitchener-Waterloo. We're about 50 folks, and we've been in operations for about 10 years. Um, my role, as leader of this organization, is really looking at how we operate at the intersection of product, of digital execution, organizational design, real world outcomes, and data is a big part of how we think about outcomes for the folks that we serve here at Punchcard.
Mhm. And what topics will you be speaking about with at the event?
Yeah, so I'll be focusing on an area of practice that I'm particularly excited about, which is thinking about how we build high-performing digital enterprises. And a cornerstone of that is how I think about using data to be able to build products that change decisions. And so we'll be talking about what makes data strategic when we're thinking about intentional design, and specifically when we're thinking about data as it relates to decision making within organizations.
I see. So you're really trying to improve the processes, is what I'm trying to hear, right? Is that
That,
correct?
yeah, that's right. So, like when I say turning data into products, I mean designing around a moment or like a decision-making moment, not just a data set. So, a lot of organizations invest heavily in collecting and structuring and governing data, which
Yes.
is very, very important. But the real question is often what decisions can become faster or clearer or more confident because of the work that we do around data. And so when I think about decision products, it could be around a unified operational data, a dashboard to help teams be
Hmm.
coordinated more effectively in the field. It could be a consumer-facing app that surfaces a simple signal at the moment someone is choosing what to buy. The shift is really about from managing information to intentionally designing tools and experiences that influence real-world behaviors.
I see. I see. So what are some of the main challenges you come and face in something in your field as right now?
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, my focus is largely helping leaders and organizations become high performing when it comes to digital operations.
Yes.
And high performing digital enterprises don't necessarily have more data; they have tighter feedback loops between data and action. And so that's one of the big challenges that we have within organizations is helping them learn to use digital tools to be able to make faster decisions. And really,
Mhm.
it's around like, can we teach folks around designing around outcomes? Can we embed data directly into workflows? Can we move quickly enough so that data isn't just reported on, it's actively shaping the decisions we make within the organization. So when I think about the biggest challenges that we have, it's about changing how people uh, like legitimately work within organizations to properly leverage digital as a part of the way they operate.
That's what I'm hearing, right? So the big part of it is leveraging the data that you already have, the existing, and then also turning it into a product afterwards, correct?
That's right. I mean, I can speak to examples in organizations in which we serve. We often work with what I would say like very traditional organizations who need to
Yes.
unify a number of fragmented systems so that people in the field or people in the office or a combination of both
Mhm.
can be seeing the same operational picture. And in that case, it's not necessarily about more data. It's data that already exists, but it's siloed or it's not available to the right people. And so by consolidating data, by presenting it properly, by making making faster, we can hopefully build a better business.
So you said, right, people are really siloed in the organization, so you're connecting it. And you said you're talking about traditional organizations. What does a traditional organization look like then?
So when I say traditional, that might mean an organization that has a lot of history. They may
Okay.
have been operating for decades or longer, and so the way they work is maybe feels a little bit set in stone. And so many of the
Hmm.
digital tools that we implement with our customers are forcing a little bit more of a modern look in terms of how they operate and how they're building their business.
Okay, perfect. So I hear a lot of maybe digital transformation being one of the biggest things too, right? Because some organizations are still losing, let's say, paper copies, for example, right? So you want to make it into online, trying to make the product, and you're trying to transform it right to more of a digital tool that can leverage and use, right?
I think digital transformation is it's different for every organization. And when we're thinking about it in terms of, or thinking about it in terms of data leadership, I think we have
Okay.
a very real opportunity to see where data leaders can step into a more strategic role as it relates to digital transformation. So, instead of asking how are we improving access to data or data quality, we can be asking the question, what are the key decisions that need to be made in this organization, and how can we design the data that we're collecting for those moments? That shifts the conversation from more of a technical conversation to definitely a more strategic role in the businesses in which we
Mhm.
serve.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of prioritization then, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes. So you're just prioritizing the, I guess, the goals or what you're trying to achieve, the milestones and everything afterwards, trying to have a strategic focus on how to improve those operations, how to make it more effective, and then go from there, correct?
Yes. So when we're thinking about productization, I think we're shifting the conversation from stewardship of data to product thinking. And
Hmm.
it's still about governance. It's still about
Yes.
ownership. It's still about trust, right? Trust is still an incredibly important part of the work that we do, but those elements are framed around action and around thinking about data like a product.
Mhm. Do you have any like real world like projects you're currently working on that you can give like a good example of?
Well, in my talk, I'll be
Mhm.
using several real world examples of customers that we were working with, customers that we're working with in terms of changing their business model using data and digital tools, all the way to organizations that are building brand new businesses within their organization to be able to take advantage of technology and data in the real world today.
Perfect, perfect. Any other like last notes too that you want to speak about before we promote the event or anything we should really highlight?
I think it's important for us to be perhaps considering why this is relevant for right now. Um,
Yes.
in the past several weeks, there's been enormous pressure, I think, on leaders like digital leaders and data leaders
Mhm.
around AI, automation, measurable ROI on investments. And we know that orgs are investing in data infrastructure and AI tools, but
Yes.
executives are starting to ask a very simple question like, what's changed? What's improving? What decision is better today than it was 6 months ago because we have access to
Mhm.
better tools? Um, in my talk, I'll really be focusing on how do we create high-performing digital organizations that leverage data in a way that really moves the needle.
Perfect. And are these organizations within Alberta or are they also globally too, like across the US, for example, or who do you usually
Yeah,
work
we have
with?
we have customers across Alberta, we have customers across
Mhm.
Canada, and we have customers in the US as well. There are definitely shapes of organizations that are a little bit more dynamic or progressive in terms of how they're thinking about digital, and we'll be focusing on those in the talk.
Okay, perfect. Really excited. Looking forward to it.
Mhm.
Okay, before we go, anything else you want to touch upon?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, thank you, Sam, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.